My name's Tim Paige, like you mentioned, and I'm really honored to be here. So today we're going to talk about the two most important pages on your website and how to tweak them to 3x to 4x your leads. Anybody want to get more leads?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, wait a minute. Hold on a minute. We're going to have to hear this really loudly because I'm all the way in Syracuse, New York, so I can hear you. Anybody want to get more leads?
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. Good. I love it. So, yeah, that's what we're going to be talking about today, how you can get more leads. And, we really wanted to figure out how we could do this here at LeadPages. We've been thinking about a whole bunch of ways to grow our business. And of course, the first thing that came to mind was maybe we'll get more traffic. But the problem with that is, we were already really SEO optimized. We were doing tons of search stuff and, doing everything we could to make sure we were getting lots of traffic. And we really came to the conclusion that that wasn't going to be the most efficient way for us to really grow our business. So the next thing we thought of was, maybe we will just double the conversion rate of our sales page. Which sounds really easy when you say it, but in practice it's a little bit more difficult, especially when we put so much time and effort into creating that page and writing the copy, working with the designer to make sure everything's perfect. And we honestly just couldn't envision a way of doing that was going to double our sales conversion rate. So the third thing we thought of was, maybe we could just double the conversion rate of our landing pages. And in doing that, we could, double our revenue. And the thought was that if everything else held steady on our website in terms of our sales conversion rate and the value of everyone on our email list, then again, if we could double that conversion rate of our landing pages and our opt-in pages, then we would double our revenue that way. So what we did was we went about systematically doubling the conversion rate of every single landing page or opt-in page in our business, and the results from that experiment were amazing. So the first month that we did that, we doubled our revenue. And then the second month we did that, we doubled our revenue again. So we had a 4x increase in 2 months. We doubled and then doubled again. And then the third month we did that, we doubled our revenue again, and we almost doubled again the fourth month that we did this. So what we found was that it's a lot easier to double your conversion rate of your landing pages than it is to double your traffic or double your sales conversion rate if you've been paying attention. And so today what we're going to talk about is I'm going to share with you the 2 pages that you should focus on to get an immediate boost in email opt-in rate. Not only are you going to learn the 2 pages that you'll need to focus on, but you'll also know how to put them together to turn your website into a powerful, evergreen lead generation tool. And so, we love things that generate lots of business. That's awesome. But we want something that's going to work all the time. The holidays are coming up. We want to be able to spend time with our family and go on vacation and do these things, but we don't want our business to fall apart when we do that. And so we're going to focus on turning this into something that is evergreen. I just want to make this point known. There's no informational tease today, so I don't have like a book of 20 marketing secrets to sell you, and here I'm going to tell you like 3, but you got to buy the book. There's nothing like that going on. I don't have anything, any incentive to hold anything back. So during this short time we have together, I'm going to give you and tell you everything I can during this time. So very briefly about me, my name is Tim Paige. I'm a husband, I'm a dad, married the woman of my dreams, and I have a little baby boy who's about 13 months, so he's crazy. He's doing all this stuff like walking and screaming for no reason. I'm the conversion educator at LeadPages, and what that means is my job is to take all the information that we're learning as a company, and we're a fairly large company at this point, and take all that information and distill it into, or not distill it, but really break it down into trainings that everybody can implement in their businesses so that you can take this huge amount of data that we have and turn that into something that makes sense for your business. I also host our podcast, which is called Conversion Cast, and that podcast is every single Monday at 6 a.m. And basically it's a show about what you can do in your marketing that really works. So I just want to make sure, just because I can't see anything that's going on there, can everybody still hear me okay?
Yeah.
Great, just making sure. Okay, thanks so much. And I may do that from time to time just to make sure you don't lose my connection here, because again, I can't see anything, so I have no idea if you're seeing me. So a little bit about LeadPages. So LeadPages is software that takes what's been tested and proven in marketing and just does it for you. Our software right now is generating over 4 million leads every single month. We've got over 25,000 paying customers with multiple split tests happening across our platform at all times. And that may or may not mean anything to you, but all we do is just obsess about this stuff. All right, we've got over 100 people working at our company right now. We're hiring 2 to 3 people every single week. And so the reason I'm telling you all this is because I want you to know that everything I'm about to share with you on this webinar, I call it a webinar, I know you guys are live, but to me it feels like a webinar, is based on over 1 billion points of data. So this is the stuff that really works. So to address these issues, I want to introduce to you something called the LeadPages System 3.0. By a show of noise, how many of you have heard of the Pareto principle, the 80-20 rule?
Yeah.
Okay, good, a whole bunch of people. So, it says that 80% of the effects come from 20% of the causes. So in marketing and in business, what that means is 20% of the stuff you're doing is generating 80% of your results. But we actually kind of disagree with that when it comes to marketing. We believe that it's more like 95-5. And so the optimists of you are saying, wow, 5% of the things I'm doing are generating 95% of the results. That's awesome. And the pessimists are going, wait a minute, that means 95% of the things I'm doing are generating 5% of my results, right? But what we're going to do is we're going to focus on the 5% so that you can get your time back and you can focus on the other stuff that really matters. So let's talk about the first page that we're going to focus on. And that page is called the Resource Guide Landing Page. And don't worry if that doesn't make any sense to you. We're going to break that down. So this is kind of our famous resource guide landing page. And the reason it's called the resource guide landing page is because when somebody opts in on this page, they get sent a list of tools or resources. Right? So it says right here, free report reveals the 5 dirt cheap tools I use to create all my videos, including my $80 HD video camera. So somebody comes to this page, the headline sounds enticing, they click download the report, an opt-in form appears, they enter their email address, and here's what they get sent. This is it. It's a simple one-page PDF list of tools. And the thing that kills me about this is that this one-page PDF list of tools took us seriously 25 minutes to create. And the landing page we used our software to create, so it took us 5 minutes to create. So this is a 30-minute time investment, and yet these 2 pages have gotten us more opt-ins and more consistent business results and growth than a page that we created to give away a free video course. All right, so we once spent an entire month creating a free video course to give away to people, and we spent 2 whole weeks writing an ebook to give away to people, and we got a higher conversion rate and more opt-ins for this one-page PDF than we did for either the video course or the ebook. Now, there are some really interesting things going on this page that make it work so well. The first thing is that she's looking at the opt-in form. And we found that when the main subject on your page is looking at the primary action you want people to take, that increases your conversion rate. All right? Also, all things considered, both men and women are more likely to respond on pages that feature pictures of attractive women than they are to respond on pages that feature pictures of attractive men, based on lots of data. All right, so, and now I'm not telling you to go out there and like put some, hot babe on your page or something like that. That's not the point of that. But what I'm saying is if you're going to have pictures and they're not related to your specific brand, maybe consider featuring a female instead of a male. All right, and we've just found, again, based on data, that tends to convert better. So why is this the best performing landing page we've ever used? Well, the first reason is it doesn't require somebody to process too much information. So somebody doesn't have to watch a 3-minute video or read an entire page of copy in order to make a decision on that page. The only thing they have to figure out is, do they want the 5 dirt cheap tools I use to create all my videos? That's the only decision they have to make. The second reason is that everyone wants to know the tools that you're using. Okay? Studies have shown people would rather acquire a tool than acquire training because it's easier and more enjoyable to buy something that's going to solve your problems than it is to learn a new skill. Okay, everyone wants to know the tools you're using. And so if you think about the last time you were going to start something new, typically you always want to know, what's the tools that I need? So if you're going to start a yoga class, you always want to know, what kind of yoga mat should I buy, right? I do a lot with podcasting, and so lots of folks who want to start a podcast for the first time will ask for my advice. But the first question they always want to know is, what kind of mic should I buy? Right? And if you look at the top-selling issues of a lot of hobbyist magazines, you'll find that they tend to be the gear guide, right? Outside Buyer's Guide, I love this one, Comic Buyer's Guide, Golf Equipment Buyer's Guide, Bicycling Buyer's Guide, Minimalist Shoe Buying Guide, Spinner RV Buying Guide. And so here's the reality. People believe that if they have the tools the pros use, they'll perform like the pros. And just to put that into perspective, think of how many people you know that are absolutely awful golfers that have all the most high-end golf clubs money can buy. right? Everybody in the room is like looking at the person next to him. That's you, right? So I'm just guessing. I can see with my mind. Anyway, so why else is this the best performing landing page we've ever used? Well, it outperforms a free ebook because a lot of people are experiencing information overload and don't want something else to read that's long. They'd rather just have a simple list of tools, something easy and quick that will solve their problems in a snap. It outperforms video lead magnets. And by the way, just to define that term, lead magnets, that's the thing you give away to get people to opt in. All right, so some people call it like an opt-in bribe or a freebie or a giveaway or whatever. So we're just going to call it a lead magnet. So it outperforms video lead magnets because the perceived value of video lead magnets has gone down a lot recently due to the proliferation of launches and lack of time. So, not everybody wants to watch a 15-minute video. Okay, but if it's a simple list of tools, then they definitely want that. Now, let me just say this. This is not to say that video marketing is not effective. Okay, because video marketing is extremely effective. But as a lead magnet, we've found based on lots of testing that it's not as effective as that simple list of tools. Now, this outperforms opt-ins for free coaching sessions, which goes to show that greater value does not necessarily equal a higher conversion rate. So our CEO, Clay Collins, who is one of the most brilliant marketers of our time, he once gave away an hour of his time to everybody who opted in. And yet we got a higher conversion rate for that one-page PDF than we did for an hour of our CEO's time. So if you only take away one thing from this part of the presentation, let it be this. The amount of time you spend creating your lead magnet does not equal your conversion rate. The amount of time you spend creating your lead magnet does not equal your conversion rate. Okay? It's so powerful. And the other reason is the time to benefit ratio is high. So you could create that lead magnet, that one-page PDF in like 15 minutes. You don't even have to make it all fancy pants like that. Just type it up in Microsoft Word, export it as a PDF, and give it away to people and be up and running in a few minutes. It really doesn't have to be complicated, but it can perform really well. So, if any of you are just like, clinging on to why you haven't launched your landing page yet because you're trying to create that perfect lead magnet and you've spent 6 months trying to make this amazing ebook, I'm here to tell you that it's time to put down the ebook and it's time to just get something up right now. Get that resource guide going. So how do you create something specific like this for your business? Well, here are a couple of different ideas. If you're a real estate agent, you could do Resource Guide, the top 5 safest credit-boosting home loans of this year. If you're a dentist, Buyer's Guide, the top 5 electric toothbrushes of this year, including the one that I use. If you're a life coach, App Guide, the top 4 iPhone apps for increasing your productivity, including the one that I use every day. If you're a marketing agency, top 5 digital marketing tools for local businesses, hint, the 3 best ones are free. But my favorite is this one on the bottom. Fitness experts, the only 3 pieces of exercise equipment you need in your home, hint, they all weigh less than 5 pounds. And here's a little tip for you. When you tell people that it's not what they expect it to be, like that exercise equipment could possibly weigh less than 5 pounds, that will really help you out. Because people will want to know like that counterintuitive thing. Wait a minute, that doesn't make sense. What exercise equipment would weigh less than 5 pounds? And that will drive them to want to opt in. It's a great way to use curiosity. All right, and so again, what you want to do here, I know these are just some ideas, but what you want to do for your resource guide is think of your audience, who's your target customer, and what's a pain that they have that some resources could solve. And this could be anything. It could be books, it can be websites, it could be places in their local area, it could be, apps, it could be anything. But it just needs to be something that, almost like they could just go and that will solve their problems. Just buying it will feel like that solves their problem. And they could be free, they could be paid, whatever. So once again, this is the kind of page that you want. And the keys to this are making it very, very simple. There's no distractions and there's no confusion as to what somebody should do on this page. Right? It's not like there's a bunch of, like a menu bar in the header. It's not like there's a bunch of confusing banners. Download the report, sticks out, it's right there, here's the big button, and that's what you want. You want it to be very simple, very easy, and it will force people to quickly make a decision. Okay? So the resource guide landing page is really, it's really important. And so if you don't yet have an opt-in page up, it only takes a few minutes to set up. It doesn't take a lot of time to create the copy. It converts higher than long-form opt-in pages that require somebody to read a lot of text and watch a video. And this really has converted higher than anything we've ever seen. And then once again, you can create that resource guide in less than an hour. If you already have an opt-in page up though, I guarantee you this will outperform whatever you're doing right now. And again, you can set this up in minutes. So, let me encourage you to do this. Those of you that already have some kind of a landing page up, test this. All right? Test this against it with whatever your current resource guide or whatever your current lead magnet is rather. Test this and see if this converts better. And for the majority of you, it will convert better. And the only reason I can say that is because we've tested it so much. We've tested this extensively. And now I speak to the gospel of the resource guide landing page because it's gotten us such amazing results. Okay? So a couple of testimonials. Mark Quinn said, we run most of our weekly landing pages on LeadPages now. I freaking love it. I'm using it all the time. The amount of time it saves blows me away, and it gets me 70 to 80% conversion every week. All right. John Chow said, since adopting LeadPages, I've seen a dramatic increase in my opt-ins. One page in particular went from an 8% opt-in conversion to over 30% in days. This has been the most awesome tools in my online business. Gotta love that typo. Juan Martitigi from Mind Valley Hispano said, these are giving me 3x to 4x conversions against the one I was using before. A couple of tweaks in my biz will make at least twice the money I was making. And by the way, if you don't know Mind Valley Hispano, they're a multi-million-dollar company. And so doubling their money would mean quite a bit. And Lynn Knowlton said, I've mostly worked with your lead boxes in the past month or so, and I just posted one this week on my blog. It has a 99% opt-in rate. I would love that. All right, so that's the first page, is the resource guide landing page. Page number 2 is your thank you page. I truly believe that this is the most underutilized page on any website. And to echo this sentiment, I spoke at an event for Aweber a few weeks back, and I didn't speak about the thank you page. And it was interesting. I had a question. Somebody asked me a question that would draw me to talk about the thank you page. And when I brought it up, I said, I think the thank you page is probably the most important page on your website that most people ignore. And the whole crowd cheered because this is something that so few people, we've heard the thank you page is important, but we haven't really figured out a way to really utilize this. Do we put a sales page there? What do we do there? So let's talk a little bit about the thank you page. Here's how somebody gets to your thank you page. All right? So among billions of web pages, right? There are literally billions of web pages out there. Somebody somehow magically, and I'm going to use that word really strongly, magically finds you. Because even if you're great at search and any kind of marketing, you're driving folks to your page, when people finally eventually find you, you're pretty lucky. All right? Because there are a lot of folks out there doing great marketing. So somebody magically finds you. So think of the percentage of folks that actually find your page. Now let's go ahead and limit that a little bit more. Now let's say some of those folks that find you actually like your site enough to want to read, right? So maybe they'll read a blog post, they'll watch a video, they'll check out your stuff. Now let's even narrow it down further and have it be the folks that decide to actually be one of the 10% or so who opts in. And remember, we're talking about all traffic here. So some of you might be going 10%. I scoff at that. My landing page is getting 40%. But this is all traffic. This is site-wide opt-in rate. So here are some interesting stats. The average website right now on the internet that's, a reasonable website, not something that somebody created on GeoCities in 1999, right? But, the average website out there is getting around 0.5% site-wide opt-in rate. So for every 100 people that goes to the average website, 1/2 of one of them will opt in. I wonder what half. And then if you're a well-optimized website and you're doing a good job, you're paying attention, you're not the world's most incredible marketer, but you're paying attention, you might be getting around a 2% site-wide opt-in rate. And the top of the top, the best marketers, the software companies that are really paying attention, the folks that really get marketing, are averaging around 10% or so site-wide. So let's just pretend that you are in that kind of higher level that's getting around a 10% or so site-wide opt-in rate. You still have to imagine that that's a pretty small percentage of folks that are getting to your list. So here's my problem. We've gotten people to our page, and we've provided content that made them like it, right? So here's some great content. You're going to love it. They like it. They read it. They like it enough to enter their email address. And then what do? We send them to a stupid thank you page that ends the conversation immediately. They enter their email address and they click, send me the report or whatever. And here's what they see. You're almost done. Activate your subscription. You've just been sent an email that contains a confirm link in order to activate your subscription. right? It almost like it sounds like a horrible ransom note, right? Like, in order to get your thing, you must go back to the email and click the link. You will not receive your subscription, right? It's like, this is so impersonal. It's a brick wall that people get to after they're so excited and they love your stuff enough that they give you the currency that is their email address. So why are we doing this? Why is the call to action, once somebody opts in, the call to action is, now leave my website and go back to your email? Right? Why is that the case? That's really not smart marketing, and it's okay if you're doing this, because I did this for years. And there are still, you'd be amazed at some of the most high-level marketers out there that are still using this generic thank you page that sends people away from their website. Listen, remember this. People will still go back and check their email sometime later. They're going to go back and check their email. Okay? But there's no guarantee that those people will ever come back to your website. They may never go back to your website, but you know they're going to go back and check their email at some point. So let's stop sending folks away from our website once they've decided to opt in. And let's take advantage of the fact that the thank you page has the hottest leads on your entire website. They just gave you their email address and said, hey, can you market to me, please? I'd really like it if you would market to me. Right? So let's do something about it. Let's create value for them, show them that we've got something great to offer, and continue the relationship with a page like this. Somebody opts in at our website, LeadPages, and it says something like this. Thanks for signing up. Everything we promised you will be sent to your inbox shortly. While you wait for your materials to arrive via email, we recommend you sign up for this Thursday's webinar. It's happening at 3 p.m. Eastern and will help you rapidly grow a new email list from scratch in 2014. Okay? So now we're providing them an opportunity to sign up for a free webinar, which, if folks are on our website, they want to learn about how to get more leads. And so this is an opportunity for them to now engage with that great-looking bearded guy on that page and learn more about whatever it is that they want to learn about. And we're providing them tons of value. Plus, it's an opportunity for us to engage with them on a deeper level and ask them to buy our software. Okay? So here's a quick note. We're using our thank you page to grow our webinars because that's one of our biggest revenue generators. So, webinars really, hands down, have generated more income for us based on event-based marketing than anything else. Okay? And so what I'm going to encourage you to do is use it for your goals. Right? So use the thank you page for your goals. If you're finding that you've got a sales page that just crushes it with all the traffic you send there, maybe you should use your thank you page as your sales page. If you're finding that, social media is the most powerful channel for you, and if you can get somebody to share your stuff on Twitter or Facebook or whatever, that's going to do big things for you, then use your thank you page to get folks to share your stuff. But use it for your goals. Now, we use it for webinars, and so I just want to add a little bonus section here and talk about webinars, because seriously, if you want to grow your email list, webinars are the most powerful way you can do that. Hands down. Webinars have grown our list faster than anything. Literally anything. Okay? We have one webinar registration page that we did for our last webinar, and we promoted the heck out of this webinar. And we got a 90% conversion rate. 90%. Okay? Webinars have made us more money than anything we've ever done in terms of event-based marketing. You'll notice that if you just observe the majority of Fortune 500 B2B software companies, they're all using webinars to sell their software. The majority of information product marketers, affiliate marketers, coaches, consultants, anybody who's doing business online, they're using webinars to sell their stuff. E-commerce store owners, product manufacturers, I'm telling you. Okay? This is powerful stuff. Why are they doing that? Because webinars are an all-in-one magic bullet for your business. Webinars provide quality traffic because people who are looking to spend time with you that want to learn from you. They provide incredibly high sales conversion rates. So I was talking to somebody the other day that gets between 35 and 45% average sales conversion rates on his webinars, and that's not even an unheard of number. They're great for doing partnerships. So if you're new to an industry, a great way to sort of break into the space is to co-host a webinar with somebody prominent in the space. Okay? And they're also great for quick product creation. So if you're having a hard time, creating something to provide a value to your audience, whether it's free or paid, record your webinar and then send it off. You can use it as part of a blog post, as a part of your follow-up sequence. You can break it up and make it into individual videos and set that as your autoresponder. So you can do so much with webinars. They're so powerful. All right. So if you want to start doing webinars, but you don't know where to get started, I've been kind of spouting this advice for a little while, and people are going crazy. So for your first webinar, don't worry about creating a bunch of content. Just invite people to it and do a Q&A. People love having their own questions answered. People are driven crazy feeling like, when they hear a bunch of great content, they're like, oh, that's great, but what about my situation? So do an entire Q&A webinar. Just say, you know what? I'm going to answer all of your burning questions about whatever industry I'm in, right? So do that. It'll get you used to doing it, and it'll grow your list. Then start doing a webinar every 2 weeks. And I don't want to hear any crap about, oh, I can't do a webinar every 2 weeks. I'm too busy. Okay? I do a minimum of 1 to 2 webinars every day. I did 3 today before this talk. No joke. Okay? So you can do one every 2 weeks, and trust me, it's worth it. Then do them live because they'll convert better, and you'll be able to directly answer people's questions. And this is honestly an amazing opportunity to talk directly with your customers in a live setting. There is no better way to connect with your customers other than face-to-face like there is on a webinar. Webinars are amazing, okay? So a quick testimonial from Ryan Dice from Digital Marketer Labs. I don't know if anybody's a big fan of him, but he's brilliant. He said, a few weeks ago I held a webinar and the registration page converted at 72%. This was by far the highest converting landing page I've ever tested. Confession, I didn't design it, and neither did my webmaster, but I was able to make it in about 3 minutes using LeadPages. Okay. Jeff Herring said, implemented this strategy right away after I watched the video. Since that time, every single person that has opted in for their 3 mistakes content creation template has signed up for next week's webinar. Sweet. All right, so that's a little LeadPages love. So if anybody has any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. That's all I've got, so thank you so much for having me here.
Tim, you want to switch back to your face?
If I have to. I'm just kidding. Hang on a second. Let's do that.
Does anyone have any questions? Okay, good stuff. Here, I can actually.
Let's see if I can get this to. There we go.
Why are you coming to Toronto?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. What was that?
When are you coming to Toronto? I thought I was getting to meet you.
I really wanted to, but I've got a 13-month-old, so it's hard for me to travel as much as I would like to.
You are invited.
So, yeah, go ahead. Excuse me, Tim.
Yeah.
So these lead pages that your company they make, are they mostly for internet marketers and information type of? How about for regular businesses? Let's say a lawyer or like a contractor, like regular small medium-sized businesses.
Yeah, that's a great question. So yeah, folks in pretty much every industry use lead pages. The pages are really just designed to help you get better results. So whether that's get more opt-ins, get more sales, or just grow your business in your community. So we have tons of quote unquote local businesses that are using our software to do those things. Because we all want to grow our list. We all want more leads. We all want more sales. But it's just when you're using the internet to promote a local business, you have to do a little bit different, but you still want folks on your list. So yeah, it's definitely for offline businesses that are using the internet to market their stuff.
Awesome. Thanks. What?
Tim, I love your content. I actually saw your webinar had similar content with Get Bureau. Chris Exit about 2 months ago.
Awesome.
And you showed the idea of the evergreen process, and you also talked about your email drip campaign. And I actually just won the tail end of finishing that video email drip campaign, but I hadn't actually done that resource guide until this week. And I've seen normally my landing pages, and I drive all the traffic using SEO with them. I get anywhere between 15 to 25%, which is great. But this new landing page is getting 50 to 70% conversion rate, which is incredible. But my question to you is, how did you drive traffic to that resource guide? Because all I need now is just more traffic.
Yeah, that's a good question, and I could probably do about 5 more presentations just on that, but I'll leave that more to the experts. But I would say the main thing that we did is we did lots of content marketing. I don't know if you've been to our blog, but we are crazy about content marketing. We do a a new post just about every other day. We do lots of video marketing, and that's been one of our biggest things. We rank in the number 1 or number 2 spot for every single keyword that we're shooting for. So that's a big thing. Lately, we've been crazy about Facebook ads and actually driving Facebook ads to a webinar registration page. And that's been converting really, really well for us. But in terms of the kind of unique strategies and stuff that that you might hear, honestly, somebody else would be better suited for that. But those have been the 2 big ways for us: is Facebook ads and then just good old-fashioned content marketing.
Gotcha. So you somehow slip into each blog post, check out our free resource PDF sort of thing. Yeah,
that's a great way to do it. Another great way, and here's a tip that I didn't get to fit in there today, but one of the highest converting things that we've ever done was to start creating a custom lead magnet for every blog post. So when you go and post a blog post, say you're going to teach people how to do something, whatever that thing is, or maybe you're going to give them some tips, have them opt in to download something that would enhance that. All right, so it could be like, I always give this example. Let's say you're going to teach folks in a blog post how to build a wooden picnic table. You could always have them opt in to download a PDF checklist to take with them to the hardware store to make sure that they get all the right stuff that they're going to need to make that picnic table. So it's something that enhances the blog post, and we found that to be really effective. And that could be a resource guide for that blog post.
Gotcha.
Any other questions, guys?
No. So with that split, is your product similar to like a HubSpot landing page, the same type of landing page, or is it different than what you would build in HubSpot as a landing page?
Sure. Well, first off, before I say what I'm going to say, we love HubSpot. We integrate with them. They're great stuff. Okay? So we do love them. One thing I'll say, though, is our software is really, really specialized. So HubSpot does a lot of things really, really well, right? But LeadPages does one thing really, really well, and that is, pages designed to get results. So the biggest thing about LeadPages landing pages is that they've all been tested over and over and over and over again to prove that they get results. And so if you want to get results with a landing page from LeadPages, you can sort them by conversion rate, and everything that's on there is on there for the entire purpose of conversion rate. HubSpot is great, but a lot of folks are actually using HubSpot in conjunction with LeadPages to get the best results possible.
Anyone else?
Hey Tim, I got a question about Canada's castle law and sort of navigating around, providing a lead magnet and then also making sure that they're going to stay on and continue on that mailing list. With the new law that navigate around, have you guys had a strategy for Canadian subscribers that you use that is different from what you use for American subscribers?
Did you ask if we have a different strategy for Canadian subscribers than American subscribers or U.S. subscribers?
Yes.
No, the strategy's been the same. We're worldwide. We've got folks from literally just about every country. So the strategy's been just about the same. And I think the only difference is that we are, and I have no idea how this technology works, so unfortunately I can't help you with this, but we're making sure that folks that opt in from Canada have to confirm to opt in.
Confirm, yeah. Okay, cool. And is that on the same, that's not on the landing page, is that on your thank you page, or?
I believe it's within Infusionsoft.
Okay. So you're on the stage. Okay.
Any other questions, guys? I actually have a quick one, Tim.
Sure.
Can you guys can you embed a HubSpot form in a LeadPages form?
What would be the purpose?
So what is your integration with HubSpot?
We would pass along the information. So anything that needed to be passed to HubSpot can be passed along, but you wouldn't integrate the form itself.
So is it through like an API?
Yep.
Oh, really? Okay, cool.
It's brand new, so shh. I'm just kidding. Tell everybody.
Yeah, because I tried doing it about 2 months ago, or 2 or 3 months ago, and it didn't integrate at all.
Okay. Yeah, this is brand new. I think a couple of weeks old, and in fact, I might have even let the cat out of the bag a little bit early, but that's okay. You guys are great.
That's awesome. Beautiful. Okay, guys. Well, give Tim a big round of applause.
Thanks so much, Tim.
Thanks,
We're gonna
folks.
be
Really
taking
appreciate it.
a break now, but we're going to be posting Tim's video up online. I believe you recorded it, right?
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, so it will be going up online and on our blog post, and we also we can get a copy of your deck.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Tim, are there any discount codes to your products for the Powered by Search audience?
There are not, but I will tell you what, if you email me, it's tim@av81.com. That's like av like avenue, AVE81.com. So it's tim@ave81.com. And you decide to get Lead Pages, I'll hook you up with some really great bonuses, like some trainings and stuff that we have.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
All right. Thanks, guys. Great to see all of you.